Hello traders, welcome back to this video. My name is Anthony, your number one YouTube mentor. So today is on Sunday, and you know very well on Sundays we do our top-down analysis for us to get ready for a new coming week. So before we dive into our analysis, for those who are new to the channel and maybe you haven't subscribed to the channel, please um I urge you to take some few seconds of your time. Make sure you click on that subscription button. And don't forget to like the video and then also leave a comment. So without wasting time, let's dive in. So today I have few pairs with me that I would like us to do analysis. So we are going to start with the DXY, or what we call the dollar index. So on the daily time frame, what do we have? So on last week, the DXY had reacted from this order block. If you look here, we had this new week opening gap around this area. So for those who watched our previous analysis, we saw that the DXY was reacting from this order block. Then it gave us a change of character. It tried to push from this area. But now, towards the end of the week, we saw that the DXY uh, the DXY this week traded to the downside, and you can see it has already violated this order block. So we are going to delete that order block. So in terms of external structure, this is what we have. This is our dealing range. This is our swing high. So that is our swing high. So that should be our weak high. What do I call it? It should be the targeted high. That is the targeted high, and this is our strong low. I believe if you have been watching my video for a while, you know why I'm calling this one a strong low, a strong high, not low, not high, but a strong low. And this is our weak high, or that it should be our targeted high. This is what we call a protected low. Why are we calling this one a strong low and this one a weak high? Is because the market gave us this break of structure and we are trending to the to the upside. So that means this is our strong low and this is our weak high. So now for what I can see now, the DXY, um, from the momentum that we are seeing, the DXY trending to the downside, it has already, it seems like it is clearing all the internal structure that you can see here. You have all these law will are acting as the internal structure, and it seems like the DXY is coming for this order block. So what I have now, I have this last candle before this impulsive move which left a fair value gap here. So this now is my order block on the daily time frame. So that is my what I will be watching. Once the DXY trades to this area, this is where I will wait for. I will look for lower time frame confirmation for us to go bullish. So that is what I'm watching on DXY. So currently the internal structure is bearish. I think you know how to read the internal structure by now, because the external structure is bullish. We can agree with that because of this external break of structure. But the internal structure, this was the last break of structure. If you agree with me, this was the last break of structure that was printed by this market. You can't call this one a break of structure because this is just a wick above this high. And you can see the market had a change of character within this area, and it seems like the market is respecting this internal structure. After giving us this change of character, market traded and cleared this internal structure here. We had this minor inducement. We also had this minor inducement at this point. So market cleared this liquidity and then reacted from somewhere here. I don't know what made the market to react around here because it's not visible on daily time frame. So, and from there, it seems like we are trading to the downside. So currently, the internal structure that we are having right now on the daily time frame, this is the last break of structure. That is our last break of structure after this change of character within that area. So, judging on this kind of momentum that is pushing to the downside, we might see when the market opens up, during this coming week, we might see the DXY violating this zone. So once the DXY violate this zone, if we go to the weekly time frame, we'll find that the next uh, uh, the target or the next area that we'll be waiting for a DXY to come to, it is this fair value gap down here, because around this area we don't have any valid order block. So the only place or the only PO high that I will be waiting for the DXY it is down here. So once we violate this zone, now I expect the DXY to take out this liquidity and also these lows. All these lows expect the DXY to take all these lows. So that means we will the dollar will be weak. That means the dollar will be weak. We'll be having a weak dollar. That means for the Euro USD and the GBP USD will be trending to the upside. So pay attention to this zone, and that is what I will be watching once the market opens today at midnight. So that is it on the GBP USD. Going to the Euro USD, going to the Euro USD. Now, if you don't know the correlation between the dollar index and the dollar pairs, it is that when the DXY is bullish, so we expect the dollar pairs to be bearish. So if the index is bullish, we do the opposite of what the index is doing to the dollar pairs. So if we are bullish on the index, we go bearish on the dollar. If we are bearish on the index, we go bullish on the dollar. That is the correlation. Now, if you watch our previous video, we saw that this is our dealing range, and whatever is happening inside here, that is what we call the internal structure. So this was our swing structure. We had this is our strong low, this is our weak high, and you can see here calling it a buy side liquidity. So now, after the dollar came to this mitigation, this order block, it retreated to the upside, and we saw on Friday it gave us this break of structure. Now, this is where the change of character happened from the 4-hour time frame. Let me go to the 4-hour time frame for me to show that. This was the last break of structure to this POI. Then we had this change of character, and as of now, you can agree with me there. Euro USD has given us this break of structure perfectly. So we have this break of structure around this area. So what do we expect once we have a break of structure? We expect to have a small pullback. We expect to have a pullback at least to the 50%. Then we continue pushing to the upside. But now we have to read the internal structure until we see the internal structure giving us a change of character for us to start looking for the pullback. Then we are still bullish. The internal structure is bullish because you can agree with me, this was the last break of structure in terms of internal structure. After this break of structure, we saw a change of character, break of structure, and this was the last break of structure. Then we have a change of character, and we have this break of structure. Now, for me, I'll be paying attention to this internal structure. I'll be paying attention to this internal structure until I see any change of character. Until the internal structure gives me a change of character, I'm still bullish. Are we together? And from what I can see, this is my recent leg. This is my strong high. This is my dealing range now. This is my high. This is my strong high. Not strong high, sorry. This is my that is my targeted high over there. That is if the market will start retracing. Until then, we can't confirm really whether this is our targeted high until we see uh, some pullback, the pullback starting, then we can't say that this is our high. So, but we can say this is our strong low and this is our high above there. So now, assuming that when the market opens, we'll start having the pullback. Now, this is our dealing range. So we have our high there and you have our low there. So this is what I'm expecting. So for me, from what you can see on the Euro USD, you should not be looking for any sales. And I think for those who are on my Telegram channel, we saw uh we paid for going against the trend of the market, because I was looking for a selling opportunity at this point, and we ended up losing this trade because we went against the trend. The trend was bullish. Are we together? And the reason why I'm saying that is because if you go to the daily time frame, if you go to the 4 hour time frame, if you go to the 4 hour time frame, we can see very clearly that where was I looking for? Where are we looking? It was not around this area, sorry. Market had already given us this change of character at this point. So we were being at this area here. That is where we were looking to sell. And to be honest, uh, it looked very nice for us to look for a sell, because you can see here we have a very nice order block. We have a very nice order block at that point, and this eye swept liquidity above this eye and gave us a break of structure. So it was a very nice place to look for a selling opportunity. But unfortunately, this setup ended up being a loss because we went against the trend. The trend was bullish. And if we pick the Fibonacci, we place from the swing high, the swing low, we can see very clearly the market had already tapped at the 0.5 or the 50% of the Fibonacci retracement. So us trying to look for a sell at this area, it was a red flag. And this is why we ended up losing that trade. So in every setup, in every losing trade, make sure you learn something from that and don't make that mistake again. So for me, I learned that lesson, and that is why I will not be looking for any counter trend in this setup. So I will only wait for bullish setups on this trade, on this pair. That being said, now this is our daily range. We have this high and we have this low. So picking our Fibonacci, you can see we have a high there, we have a low there. Let me remove this for now. So this is what I'm having, and this is my liquidity. This is my liquidity, unless the market creates another major inducement. So this is what we are having as at now. If we start seeing the pullback from here, I will wait for the market to come to this area, at least sweep this inducement here, and then from here on the lower time frame, either 15 or 5 minutes time frame, I will wait for, I will look for confirmation for us to look for a buy setup. Are we together up to there? In case the market comes and takes out this low, so that means this is where we will be. We will wait for our buying opportunities. So those are my two PO highs. So this area here, you can see here we are having some kind of consolidation around this area. So that is my order block. So for now, this is my two POIs, this area and this area down here. In case, but now what I need to see is the market coming to 0.5 and maybe clearing this liquidity. Then from there, we look for buying opportunity. In case the market comes to this area, we uh, wait for a confirmation and take that buy to the upside. So my conclusion is that look for only buying opportunities on Euro USD unless the market gives us a good reason for us to look for selling opportunities. So now we go to the next pair. We have the GBP USD. So starting from the daily time frame, what do we see? We can see after this change of character, we have this break of structure around here. So the market initially had reacted from this fair value gap. We had this fair value gap within this area. So the market came tapped to that fair value gap, and I think it gave us a change of character from that area. And then we were trying to sell from that area, but now you can see the market had other intention. And I asked myself, why is that market did not respect this fair value gap? Why this fair value gap was not strong enough to push this market to the downside? Because to be honest, This is our dealing range. We have this high and we have this low. These are strong high and these are weak low. So then I looked here and I saw a very nice support area. If you look at this area, you can see very clearly that we are having some kind of support within this area. We are having some kind of support within this area. Like that. You can see market try to break here. This resistance at this area, pushed to the downside, broke it, came and retested this support, pushed to the upside. You can see at this point we are having some kind of support at this area, and that's where the market came reacted from that support, and you can see we are buying from that area. So now for me, from what I can see and from what the DXY is telling us, I don't expect this I to hold. For me, I don't expect, because we are having a very nice order block around this area. We are having this nice order block. So for me, I don't expect this order block to hold this market. Judging on this, the kind of momentum that we are having around here. But because this is a strong high, what I expect to see a reaction from this order block. I'm expecting to see a reaction from this order block. Maybe the market will come to balance this fair value gap. Then we continue pushing to the upside. So that is my anticipation on the GBP USD. But now we have to wait and see what the market will tell us. Now going down to the lower time frame, to see what we are having down there. So we can see very clearly, this is what I was telling you. After market tapped to this fair value gap, we saw this change of character. We had this break of structure, internal break of structure around this area. But now, unfortunately, market tried to react from this area here. We had this more pullback, but now it came and violated that zone. So that one gave us our market structure shift. Now, the same as the Euro USD, you can see that the GBP USD is bullish. So that means now this is my dealing range, that is my high, and that is my strong low, like that. That is my strong low. In case we have a pullback, I'm expecting to see a reaction from this area. So, and I've said I don't expect this. For me, I'm not expecting this order block here to hold, judging on what the DXY is doing. Although the DXY, let me go back. Although the in the DXY, we saw that we have this PO high around this area. So unless this PO high odds and gives us a change of character, we should be looking for buys on the dollar pairs. If this PO high is strong enough, should push this market up and break this high. Are we together? So we need to watch out on what the DXY is doing. But currently, this is what I'm having on a DXY, on a, sorry, GU. So placing the Fibonacci from the swing high to the swing low. But to be honest, I won't be looking for buying opportunities on this pair. So the only pair that I'll be focusing on is the Euro USD. So as at now, this is what we are having on GU. So if you have to look for a buying opportunities, this is the area that we should be looking for buying opportunities. Wait for the market to come to the 0.5, then now go to the lower time frame and wait for a change of character. Now, going to the next pair, we have gold. We have gold. So we can see now the gold has been buying. The gold has been buying for a very longest period of time. Since last year, we have been seeing the gold going up. This is since it's not even October. Since uh, when was this? It is for a very longest time the gold has been buying. So I don't think whether you should be looking for any selling opportunities on gold, because that will be going against the trend. So for me, I rather go with any bullish setup on gold. And from what we are having now, you can see very clear. Let me clean up this area. You can agree with me that we are having this fair value gap. We are having this small fair value gap. So if the gold can give me a small retracement to this fair value gap, I should be looking for buying opportunities. So let's go to the lower time frame and see what we have. Very nice. Let me remove this. Mhm. From what we are having here, you can see we have this break of structure. We have this BOS. We also have this small BOS at this area. We also have that break of structure. Let me use that color like that. So now I have two areas to pay attention to. Because of that daily fair value gap that we saw at this area, which is in confluence with this 4-hour order block, although not order block but the fair value gap. Although the gold has already tapped into this fair value gap, you can see the gold came, tapped into this fair value gap, and it bought from this area like that. So market came to this fair value gap, mitigated it, and pushed to the upside to break this high. So let me go to maybe 1 hour time frame and see what we're having. Let me mark this one as our fair value gap. So this is our break of structure here, like that. So going to the lower time frame, like 30 minutes or maybe 15. Yeah, very nice. You can see that. You can see that the gold has cleared this internal liquidity, read this kind of trend line liquidity around this area. So the gold has already swept all this internal liquidity down there. We had a sweep of liquidity, and then we have a break of structure. So that means I have a new dealing range on gold. This is my low. We have that low, you can call it a strong low, then you have the high there. So now what are we expecting on gold? I'm expecting a gold to give me a small retracement. Then I'll start looking for buying opportunities. If the gold will open and with the retracement, then we'll wait for that, pull back at least to the 0.5 at this area, because to be honest here, I don't see any PO high. Going down to 5 minutes, even on 5 minutes time frame, there is no any valid PO high for me down there. So what am I expecting? What I'll be watching is that if the gold can start the pullback, come at least to this area, then give us a good confirmation, we should be looking for buying opportunities to the upside. Because to be honest, the gold has been rallying to the upside. So that is it on gold. Now moving to the next pair, we have USD JPY. If I go to the 4-hour time frame, let me start from the daily time frame. From the daily time frame, let me clean up this. So from the daily time frame, you can see this is the last break of structure. Agreed? We have this is our last break of structure. So that means this is our low. We have that one as our low, a strong low, like that. That is our low, and this is our high. So picking our Fibonacci from the strong high to the strong low, you can see the market is already at the discount. So we should be looking for buying opportunities from down here. So where are we supposed to buy from? Let me go down to the lower time frame. And you can see very clearly on the 4-hour time frame, we are having a very nice order block around this area. So we are having this nice order block. So this is where I'll be watching the this pair. That is the UJ or USD JPY. So the market is using all this internal structure as the liquidity. So the market is using all this internal structure as liquidity. So this is where I'll be we are looking to buy Euro USD JPY. So watch at this area. Don't take aggressive entry from this area because of the kind of the selling momentum that we are having around here. It's always to wait for good to wait for a confirmation and then within this area. So make sure to watch out this because overall this is where I'll be looking to buy from. Stop loss some few pips below there, and the target should be this eye around there. So that is my view on the USD JPY. I also have GBP JPY. I also have GBP JPY. So what do we have here? Starting from the daily time frame. So what do we have here? You can see this was the last break of structure from the daily time frame. We have this as our last break of structure. That is our last break of structure. This eye swept liquidity above this eye. Now, we are having some small problem here with the GBP USD because we know that once the market takes out the external liquidity, we expect the market to take out at least one of the internal structure before pushing to the upside. Because after market cleared this liquidity, buy side liquidity, you can see a very nice rejection from that area. Now let us go to 4-hour time frame. Even in the 4-hour time frame, we don't have any break of structure. It is just a sweep of liquidity. And now looking at what we are having here, let me go to 1-hour time frame. So on 1-hour time frame, we are having this low here. You can see this low swept this internal liquidity and then gave us this break of structure. So for me, this is where I'll be looking to buy from. So you can see the market has already tapped into this fair value gap. We had a small tap into that fair value gap, but still I'm expecting some push to the downside, at least to come and fill this fair value gap. But if it comes to this order block, then I'll be watching to buy from that area. In case that area fails, now do we have any other POI down here? Then we'll have this order block. We'll have this order block around this area. So that is where I will be watching the GBP JPY. So my point is that we should be looking for buying opportunities on GJ or in short on the yen pairs because you can see we are trending to the upside. But don't take an aggressive entry. Always wait for a confirmation before taking any setup that is coming from the higher time frame. So guys, that is what I'm having today. That is what I'm having today on our today top-down analysis. So again, before I go, I am also reminding you, for those who haven't subscribed to the channel, kindly make sure you subscribe, like the video, and don't forget to leave a comment. So if you haven't joined my Telegram channel, find the link on the description of this video. Make sure to join our Telegram channel. For those who would like to join my membership, we are having a February waiting room. So the deadline will be the head of this coming week. So make sure if you want to join the February membership, make sure to text me on WhatsApp. Find the link on the description of this video. Leave me a text on WhatsApp, then I will guide you on how to register. The membership is only $50, 1 month membership. So thank you for watching. Until next time, it's a bye bye for now.